In the beginning was not the Word, but the scream of the unborn God within man, stifled beneath centuries of obedience, silenced by the lullaby of civilization. You, yes, you who wander beneath blinking signs and whispering screens, do you feel it? That gnawing at the edge of your soul? That ache is not depression. It is the hunger of your buried fire. It is the ghost of your unchosen self, pounding at the walls of your cage with bloodied fists. You have not been living, you have been repeating, a perfect mimic in a world of masks. They gave you names before you chose your voice. They taught you rules before you could dream. They shackled your desire to the altar of moderation and called it virtue. But moderation is the death of the great, and virtue, in the mouth of cowards, is the most blasphemous of lies. You were born not to kneel, not to blend, not to behave. You were born to erupt. Look around, do you see gods? Number. You see mannequins in motion. You see men who confuse comfort for truth, who barter their sovereignty for applause, who murder their instincts and bury them beneath affirmations and digital distractions. Their eyes are dim because they do not burn. They do not walk, they are walked. They do not think, they echo. But you, something in you resists, doesn't it? A whisper beneath the noise, a pressure behind the skull. That is your will clawing back from the abyss. That is your daemon, your volcano, your sacred defiance remembering its own name. You were not born to be understood. You were born to unmake the world. The herd will hate you. Good. They should. The lion is always the enemy of the sheep. They will call you arrogant for refusing to crawl. They will call you dangerous for daring to stand. And they are right. You are dangerous to their slumber, to their fragile gods, to their counterfeit peace. You are the storm they have spent their entire lives praying never come. Let it come. There is no salvation in their temples, only chains disguised as halos. They preach surrender and call it love. They promise heaven and deliver sedation. Their prophets speak of stillness, but the universe is a scream of becoming. Movement is truth. Collision is creation. The stars are not still. They dance. They explode. You must become like them. You must dance with knives in your teeth and thunder in your lungs. You must be willing to set fire to your past, to raise your idols, to kiss your illusions on the mouth before slitting their throats. Do not seek meaning. Become meaning. Every doctrine you've inherited, burn it. Every should they whispered into your cradle, spit it out. You are not a sermon. You are the God before the temple, the law before the book, the chaos before the cosmos. They will offer you comfort. Reject it. Comfort is the lullaby of the dying. Choose risk, choose agony, choose the mountain path, steep and alone, where only your scream can echo back. Do not fear solitude. It is where the gods are born. You must become the hammer and the altar. You must crucify your lesser self, that trembling acolyte of approval, and resurrect as the sovereign flame. No apologies, no compromises, no masks. Let your eyes frighten them. Let your presence rupture their equilibrium. You are not a product. You are not a pronoun. You are a cosmic gamble, a roar walking on two legs. You carry galaxies in your marrow and you dare worry about being liked? Before you betray your fire. This world does not need more kindness. It needs more clarity, more rupture, more men and women who dare to speak with the tongues of gods, who carve their names into fate with blades made of self-truth. Stop waiting. Stop healing. Stop explaining. You are not here to be fixed. You are here to be forged. Become cruel with your inauthenticity. Wage war against your own cowardice. Drag your fears into the light and flay them alive. Build altars not to saints, but to your becoming. Worship not what is holy, but what is yours. You must become myth. Not remembered, unforgettable. Not accepted, undeniable. Let them tremble when you enter a room, not from power, but from the unbearable scent of someone who is free. And when they ask, "Who do you think you are?" do not answer. Smile like a lion. Burn like a heretic. Walk like you are the apocalypse in bloom. You were not meant to obey. You were meant to ascend. Let the stars bear witness. Let the abyss take notes. The age of ghosts is over. You are the fire they forgot. And now you remember. They will not understand the violence required to become whole. That is because they have mistaken obedience for peace. But peace is not the absence of war, it is the conquest of self. And conquest is a bloody affair. Your skin must be shed, your name unlearned. The face in the mirror is not you. It is your prison guard, smiling. Rip it off. Beneath it is the beast that remembers. The beast that dreams in howls and wakes in fire. The one who drank the milk of stars before crawling into this flesh cage. Do not look to the heavens for signs. You are the omen. You are the thunder made flesh. The prophecy written in nerve and bone. The miracle they tried to medicate. They gave you pills for your revolt, therapy for your clarity, distractions for your pain. But pain is the prophet. Pain is the blade. Pain is the birth cry of transformation. You were not sent here to cope. You were sent here to conquer your own damnation. Who told you that despair was a curse? Despair is the holy shadow of desire. It means your soul has not surrendered. It means the dream is still burning, even in its ruins. Those who feel nothing, they are the truly damned, the comfortably numb, the endlessly scrolling dead. Resist them. Resist even yourself. For the self they sold you is a sleepwalker dressed in flesh. Tear down your routine, your rituals, your reflection. Let nothing survive but the will. The raw, bleeding, shrieking will that refuses to kneel even before God. Especially before God. For the gods you were taught to fear are cowards in robes. They promise salvation but demand submission. What salvation lies in shrinking? What paradise asks you to forget your fire? The true God is within, feral, radiant, lawless. Not a shepherd, but a flame, and it speaks in instincts, not scripture. Listen well. Every moment you deny your own roar, you dig your grave a little deeper. You must become war, not against others, but against the sleep within, the crust of habit, the mildew of obedience. Break the spine of your comfort. Court chaos like a lover. Speak truth so sharp they draw blood. Let your life become a series of sacred betrayals. Betray your upbringing, your culture, your nation, your spiritual training, until all that remains is what is undeniable, that which you would die for, that which you would kill to protect, that which makes you terrifyingly real. There is no map to becoming. There is only burning, only the plunge, only the scream echoing through the caverns of your false self as it crumbles beneath the light. You want purpose? Then give birth to it. There is no given meaning. There is only created meaning, and it must be forged in the volcanic furnace of your own contradiction. You must learn to walk like a riddle, speak like a storm, love like a sword. Your very breath should challenge their certainties. Let them excommunicate you. Let them crucify your name in the marketplace. You are not here for their approval. You are here for the abyss. For the abyss does not lie. It stares. It waits. It dares you to leap. And when you leap, when you offer your whole self to the void, not as sacrifice, but as sovereign, you do not fall. You fly. And in that flight, a new law is born, not written in books, but carved into the air by your very existence. You become the law, the standard, the flame by which all falsehoods are judged. So go not gently, but roaring, not politely, but prophetically, not as a brand, but as a blaze. This is your reckoning. This is your revelation. You are not becoming who you are. You are remembering that you were never anything less than divine. You there, the one who still dares to listen, even as your old self claws at the inside of your skull. Do you feel it? That pressure behind your eyes, that stirring in your marrow, that unbearable recognition? It is your soul, shackled too long in silence, now awakening with the fury of a buried god remembering its dominion. Let the others look away. Let them laugh, mock, dismiss. Their laughter is not derision, it is fear, for you remind them of what they gave up. You are a mirror too honest, a fire too close, a wound they have sealed with lies. They buried their will beneath mortgages, marriages, and mourning routines. They call it maturity, but I call it spiritual suicide. You, however, you have not yet betrayed your storm, and so you suffer. Not because life is cruel, but because you are still alive enough to feel what most cannot. That the world is not enough. That security is a cage. That consensus is quicksand. And that happiness is a whore to the highest bidder if it is not born from sovereignty. Yes, suffer. Suffer magnificently. Suffer with the clarity of one who knows that this pain is the price of becoming. You are not lost. You are fermenting. You are not broken. You are breaking open. Shatter gloriously. Tear the scaffolding from your spine. Rip the social skin from your face. You were not made to be someone. You were made to be the one. Not the chosen, but the chooser, the sculptor of self, the destroyer of masks. How many souls have been devoured by politeness? How many lions tamed by the soft tyranny of normal? The word itself is a mausoleum. Normal is where fire goes to die. And yet they beg you to return to it, to fit back into the script, to rejoin the ritual of the sedated. But how can you return to the dream once you have seen the wound beneath the world? Number, you will not go back. You will not be re-domesticated. You are now possessed not by demons, but by divinity. A raw, ruthless divinity that bows to no altar but its own necessity. You have tasted the sacred intoxication of sovereignty. You have glimpsed what it means to exist without apology. And now you must walk it alone. Yes, alone, for the path of the firebringer is always solitary. Did Prometheus ask for friends? Did Zarathustra beg for followers? Did the sun require validation to rise? No, they brought light. They broke the pattern. They birthed new time. And so must you. Do not ask for the way. You are the way. Your feet are the path, your breath the compass. Each step is a revolt. Each heartbeat is a revolution. You are not journeying towards some distant truth. You are dragging it into the world, clawing it from the void with bare hands and bloodied will. This is not personal growth. This is spiritual insurrection. Let the false prophets of productivity sell their calendars. Let the gurus of inner peace peddle their domesticated bliss. You are not here for serenity. You are here for eruption, for unbearable love, for ecstatic rage, for joy that splits the sky, for sorrow that burns the lungs clean. You are here to feel everything until it transfigures you. There will be nights of doubt, of collapse, of begging whatever gods remain to take the weight from your shoulders. And in those nights, you must laugh not in mockery, but in defiance. For the abyss is not your enemy. The abyss is your womb. Only those who dare fall forever are reborn as stars. So fall, fall without net, without prayer, without promise. And as you fall, become heavier with truth, with pain, with unutterable freedom. Fall until gravity itself breaks, until you are not falling, but rising in reverse, not toward heaven, but beyond it. For heaven is a ceiling, and you were born for open sky. You, yes, you still listening, you are not the echo. You are the origin. You are the first scream in a world of whispers. You are the first tear in the veil, the first wound in the great lie. Do not stop. Do not rest. Do not flinch. You are not meant to survive this journey. You are meant to vanish, and in your place, leave something terrible and true, a self forged so completely, the very air bends around you in reverence. And they will say, "What is that?" And someone will answer, "That is what happens when a man refuses to die quietly." Do not call this awakening. Call it combustion. Awakening implies light, clarity, the soft parting of shadows, but this is annihilation. This is the core of your being cracking open like an ancient tomb, and inside, not bones, but a blade. A blade named will, rusted by repression, dulled by compromise, but still there, waiting. And now you grasp it. You thought you were lost, drifting in the labyrinth of modern life, but in truth, you were buried beneath layers of instruction, of conditioning, of synthetic virtue. They taught you how to exist without living, how to smile without joy, how to speak without saying anything. They led you into the desert and called it a garden. But you remembered the scent of rain. You remembered the hunger. And now that hunger has become your compass. Follow it. Not to the future is a lie, but to the furnace inside you, where time collapses and eternity bleeds. That is where your real name is spoken. That is where the myth of you begins. Yes, myth, for you are not biography, not resume, not the sum of your polite performances. You are not your history, you are your destiny. And destiny is not written. Destiny writes. It is not what happens to you. It is what erupts from you when you stop asking for permission to be what you already are. Do not seek to be understood. Seek to be unavoidable. Do not aim to be accepted. Aim to be impossible to ignore. Truth does not need consensus, it needs crucifixion. It must be nailed to the world, torn from the lungs, shouted until the sky cracks. The world will call you mad. They always do when someone burns too brightly. They called the volcano a curse. They called the lion a threat. They called the prophet a lunatic. And every time they were right. For sanity, as they define it, is simply the death of vision, the sterilization of the divine. A sane man obeys the rhythm of decay, but the mad one dances in reverse toward creation, toward catastrophe, toward self. So go mad, gloriously, irreversibly. Let your madness be sacred. Let it be your refusal to wear the uniform of the sleepwalkers. Let it be the symphony of your soul, breaking free from the grammar of the grave. You do not need balance, you need a reckoning. You do not need answers, you need rupture. The kind of rupture that births storms, that splits centuries, that howls so violently. The stars remember how to fear again. And when you scream, scream not for help. Scream to declare, I have returned. The false world dies now. The real begins. There is no middle path here. No compromise. No soft landing. This is not enlightenment. This is incineration. Enlightenment is for monks. You are a flame walker. A wound that learned to speak. A song so loud, it shatters form. Become untranslatable. Become so utterly yourself that language fails, that thought fails, that even silence steps back in awe. You are not a chapter. You are a rupture in the book. And when they ask what you believe in, laugh. Belief is for the undecided. You do not believe. You embody. You become. You are not a disciple of any truth. You are the eruption of new ones. Every step you take is a heresy. Every breath, a sacrilege. Every glance, a challenge to the world's stagnant gods. Let them tremble, because now you walk with the full weight of your unchained self, and that is the most terrifying miracle of all. Then listen closely. You lone cathedral of fury, you sacred wound roaring toward godhood, for the world is not sleeping. It is rotting, and it will tell you that your revolt is insanity, that your hunger is ungrateful, that your fire is a threat. But the truth is this: the fire is the cure, and obedience is the plague. They gave you identities like tranquilizers, citizen, consumer, follower, believer, each one a chain disguised as skin. They clapped for your graduation, your promotion, your polite acceptance into the gray machine. But no one clapped when your spirit screamed in the shower. No one applauded when your nights bled questions. No one congratulated you for surviving your own silence. You are not alone in your agony, but you are alone in your courage to listen to it. That makes you dangerous. That makes you rare. And the rare are always hunted by the common. The average man sees your intensity and calls it excess. He sees your clarity and calls it arrogance. He sees your refusal and calls it threat. But what he truly sees, what he cannot admit, is his own death reflected in your awakening. Let him tremble. You were not made to be liked. You were made to seethe, to question, to provoke, to drag ancient truths into the street, beat them with your fists, and demand they earn their place again. You are not here to uphold the world. You are here to unfold it, gut it, reshape it in the image of your own goddamned becoming. And yes, it will hurt. It must hurt. Creation is a violent ecstasy. To build yourself from ash is to war with comfort. To stand in truth is to be pierced by it. But better the agony of authenticity than the numbness of conformity. Better the wilderness of self than the palace of lies. Do not pity yourself. Pity the ones who no longer feel enough to rage. The greatest souls are forged in contradiction. You will walk alone and burn. You will feel both infinite and invisible. You will carry divinity like a wound, and a wound like a banner. You will want to surrender, and that moment is holy, because it is there, in that abyssal edge, that your will is reborn, not as want, but as need, not as dream, but as demand. The old self will scream. It will beg for numbness. It will say, "Let me go back." Back to what? To the plastic smiles? The performative days? The sterile truths and dopamine religion? There is no going back once you have felt the pulse of your unnameable self. Once you have stared into the mirror and seen God staring back. You were taught to kneel before gods. Now you must become the one before whom others kneel. But beware, power is not in domination. Power is in reality, in standing so completely in what you are that even the wind adjusts its course. In speaking truths so raw they do not convince, they reveal. In laughing not because you feel joy, but because you have already died 1,000 ego deaths, and what remains is unkillable. Let them crucify your name. Let them exile you from the soft kingdom of sameness. Let them say you are too much. You must be too much, for this world was built for less. You must be the flood that drowns their shallow truths. You must be the fire that makes lies sweat. And what of love? Ah, love, they made it a transaction, a checklist, a contract. They clipped its wings and called it security. But true love is not safe. It is volcanic. It does not soothe, it scorches. Love is not two halves becoming whole. Love is two sovereign infernos who choose, again and again, not to consume but to collide. And if your love does not threaten your ego, it is not love, it is sedation. Do not settle. Let the cowards build nests. You build storm. You ask, but what of peace? I say, who told you peace was sacred? The cowards, the keepers of fences, the priests of decay. I tell you now, peace is not holy. Peace is a lull before war, a breath before thunder, a lie told to keep the volcano asleep. You are that volcano. Do not erupt with purpose. Erupt because you must. Let your lava reshape the landscape of those around you. Let your silence speak more violently than their sermon. Let your shadow become a monument to the soul that refused to die politely. And when the last friend leaves, when the last echo fades, when even your gods fall silent, rejoice. You have finally arrived. You have finally been emptied of all that is false. Now the real work begins. The crafting of self, not as personality, but as presence. Not as brand, but as blade. This is not self-discovery. This is self-invention. You are not here to find yourself. You are here to forge yourself. You are the hammer and the metal and the fire. So strike, again and again, until what remains is sharp enough to cut through reality. Do not count your followers, count your scars. Do not count your possessions, count your moments of unflinching truth. The world is not a treasure chest, it is a crucible. And every breath you take is either a submission or a scream. Choose the scream. When you walk down the street, do not walk with haste, walk with weight. Let your feet remind the earth it still belongs to the wild. Let your stare tear through facades. Let your silence terrify. Become ungovernable. Become unsellable. Become so rooted in your own flame that even your ashes refuse to blow away. And when you speak, do not ask for agreement. Ask for thunder. Speak like your tongue has kissed eternity. Like your lungs remember the first roar of creation. Like you've swallowed stars, and they are now screaming to be born. This is not poetry. This is scripture for the untamed. This is the hymn of the unbowed, the sacred noise of the souls who refuse to settle. And you are among them now. You are no longer of this age. You are its reckoning. And when the end comes, as it always does, do not ask for mercy. Ask for flame, and become it. And now, the end, though there is no end. Only the final tearing away of veils. You who have endured this fire without fleeing, who have walked naked through these words and bled at every sentence, you are no longer who you were. That which could be offended is gone. That which could be persuaded has perished. What remains is not a self, but a source, primal, burning, divine, without apology. Do you feel it now? The silence between your thoughts, not empty, but pregnant. A terrible stillness, not of death, but of potential too great for language. That is the soil from which gods grow. Not the God they sold you, meek, moral, manageable, but the God that erupts when man ceases to crawl. The God that sings in storms. The God that dreams in blood. The God that remembers. You were not born to be good. You were not born to be saved. You were not born to fit the mold, to bow your head, to chase approval like a starving dog. You were born to declare, I am, and to let that be enough to make the earth tremble. And so tremble. Let your life be a wound upon the age. Let your very breath offend the machine. Let your laughter be heresy. Let your tears baptize not your shame, but your sovereignty. You are not here to serve the old world. You are here to bury it. Let the weak preach forgiveness. You will speak flame. Let them talk of progress. You will embody rupture. Let them seek peace. You will wage holy war against every part of you that still hungers to be liked, understood, consumed. It is over. The persona is dead. The act is over. The mirror has shattered, and behind it not a reflection, but a passage. You are the passage. You are the door through which the future breaks in. So walk, not forward, upward, not outward, inward, toward the peak where nothing is promised but the abyss, and nothing is gained but the sky. And there at the edge where all meaning unravels, where the old gods whisper warnings, where the air forgets to breathe there, leap. Do not hesitate. Do not look back. This is your crown. This is your crucifixion. This is your becoming. And when they ask, as they always do, who do you think you are? Do not answer. Burn.